So I have been seeing all of these videos, people going live about the ICE raids, and even showing up to graduation at elementary school. Comes to show how these people are so heartless. They are so heartless. Not everybody that migrated to the U.S. actually wanted to come to the U.S. And the reason why I say that is because I was a detention officer. I used to work at a detention center where they used to detain immigrants. And because we spoke uh, the same language, Spanish, um, I would sit down with them and I would talk to them. And there was this particular man that he said, Miss, I didn't have no dreams of coming to the US to live. He said, the only reason why me and my family are here, although my heart aches because one of my sons stayed back because he was not home when we left. We were literally chased out of our home. And he said he had a ranch, he had cars, and the area where his ranch was at, the I can't remember if he said the cartel, but they wanted to use his house as a way to transport drugs, basically go through his house. So he said that the other neighbors around there, they've already kind of forced him into it, but because he was, I believe he said he was a believer and there was no way that he could do that, to be allowing them to be smuggling drugs through his home. So because he did not want to accept that, he did not want to agree with them, he did not want to do that, period, they were trying to kill this man and his family, basically forced them into smuggling drugs or allowing them to pass through their homes or their ranch with drugs. And because he said no, they were trying to kill him and his whole family. So he said the day that he fled, his oldest son was not home. And he said, that's my biggest fear, that they may catch him and unalive him. I was like, that is just so heartbreaking. And I was like, I'm sorry, that you're going through that, and I'm sure it's very painful. The fact that you still have a child over there, and you hear you eating, you sleeping well. Well, not sleeping well because he was very worried. Him and his wife, and they had two minor kids because at the time they were detaining families where I was working at. They have families in that at that detention center. So there was one day where I was in the pod. I was the officer in the pod where the man was at, and he so happened to call his house to see if he could get in contact with his son. He was talking to his son, and the man told him, just try your best to stay home as much as you can. Do not go out. When you home, don't turn no lights on. Just stay quiet. As this man was talking to his son, these people came in his house and you could hear the gunshots. It's not like that story was told to me. I was there. I was the officer in that pod. This man screamed so loud with so much pain. I went over there towards the phone and I'm like, what's going on? The man just let go of the phone. And as he let go of the phone, you could hear the shots through the phone. You could hear it. Everybody went over there towards him. And I'm like, oh my God, this is terrible. He said, Miss, they've killed my son. This man was talking to his son when they came in and shot him cold blooded. All because he did not want to allow these people to smuggle drugs through his ranch. That was the only reason why this man came here to seek refuge in the US. Not because he wanted to be here, because he did not want to get killed because of something he didn't want to do. And ended up losing a son, waiting on the process for asilo, for them to allow him to stay here in the US with his family. That man lost his son that day. And I was a witness to that. I heard the shots through the phone. So everybody that comes here is not because they want to. A lot of these people that say I come here because I'm in fear of my life, they telling the truth. There was another lady that was detained there. She was from Colombia. They found her story to be credible. They allowed her to stay here. They actually gave her paperwork, asylum. They gave her asylum to stay here. So it's like everybody has a story to tell. Granted, not everybody is going to tell the truth, or not everybody has something that they're fearing about. They have a lot of people that come here because they want to better themselves and their families. They cannot go through the process that my parents, my mother went through to go through the process of fixing the paperwork to get me here legally. They don't have the money, and they don't have any family member to petition for them to come here. And the process is very long and strenuous. And when they are hungry, guess what? They use that route to come here through the border because they think it will be easier. And a lot of the times, these people experience so much trauma when they come here. So much trauma. A lot of the times, I will go there in the middle of the night. If they did not have an officer there on duty that spoke Spanish, they would call me in the middle of the night to come for the booking of these people because they had no one that spoke Spanish. I will go. They would tell their stories of what they encounter just trying to get here, the trauma they went through. And for you just to be snatching people out of here just because they do not have the adequate paperwork, and you don't listen to their story to actually see if there is any way that they could be helped to stay here. There was another story to where this man just got deported back home in Honduras. The same day that he got there, after he was deported, he was shot and killed. So when they say I'm here because I'm in fear of my life, a lot of them are telling the truth. Why isn't there a way to allow these people to stay here and allow them to become legal in this country so they could pay taxes too? I don't I don't get it. I don't understand. That is so heartbreaking. You separating children from their parents, all because you don't want them here, as if they're sitting on top of your head. They come here to better themselves. They come here because they want to live. My goodness.